Okay, so I believe we should start. Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for joining us for MobileNAV 9.0 release webinar. That's the first one this year. Let's jump into what we will cover today. First of all, let me introduce the presenters. I can switch. Okay, so as you most probably know, Tibor, he is the business unit director at Multisoft Innovative Solutions and also the mastermind behind MobileNAV and other products of that department. And I'm Bertalan Nagy, your partner manager and your first contact at Multisoft. As always, we will discuss some partner news before we start with the 9.0 news of MobileNAV. So let's quickly get through these points. First of all, in the last few weeks, that was the hot topic, the pricing and licensing updates. Essentially, with this, we have touched two aspects of our pricing and licensing. First of all, we have adjusted the enhancement following Microsoft's initiative. So we have increased the enhancement percentage to 17%, not 70. That would be insanely high, of course. So we have increased it to 17% from 16, following Microsoft's pricing methodology. And the other was the subscription licensing. So basically, we have followed the new commerce experience features or licensing guidelines of Microsoft, which means that we have introduced different subscription periods. The default period will be annual, so with annual commitment, the prices are not changed. And we have also introduced a monthly commitment, which comes with a flexibility premium, so to say. So you can choose which one fits the actual case better. Also, it is possible to mix and match the annual and the monthly commitment. So if you have a subscription base that can be committed to a full year, we suggest to do that. And if you need some moving licenses on top of that, you have the option to go with the flexible one. The annual commitment won't let you cancel any licenses or cancel the whole subscription until the end of the period. Okay, we have sent out multiple newsletters in this topic, so I suggest you to check if you have received that. If you haven't received any, that means either we have landed in your spam map, but the more probable version is that you are not subscribed to our newsletters, which I strongly advise because we communicate the most important changes through newsletters, and every major information or updates can be found on our partner SharePoint portal. If you don't have access to that, please contact me or my colleagues, and we will create you the login for the SharePoint portal, where you can find every documentation, even the install packages, and of course the pricing and licensing guide, which is a pretty close related document to our partnership agreement, which is our second topic. Yes. So we have created a new partnership agreement last year. We are slowly rolling this out, but it has an inseparable part, which is the pricing and licensing guide, which depends on the geographical location of the customer. So the two is valid together. Our third topic for today is a new product that we have recently, let's say, finished, but which product is finished? I don't think there's such term for that. So we have a new product. This is the so-called automated invoice processor, um, or AIP, which helps us to recover invoice data. Um, Currently only in Hungary, it's working here. What we do with it, so we have an obligation to transfer invoice data to the local authorities, the tax authorities, and that's not just one way or one direction data transfer, but we can also recover data from that database, and we can use that data to help our accounting department or posting the incoming invoices based on historical data. And for that purpose, we have utilized a machine learning, or you can call it artificial intelligence maybe, with the help of that we can upload historical data to the machine learning, and it will recognize certain habits in our postings, and it will prepare the data in a way to help our bookkeeping department or accounting department. I don't want to go into deep detail, but that's the essence of it. And as I mentioned, this is only working at the moment in Hungary because we are familiar with the Hungarian functions of the authorities. So there is this obligation, but we are really curious about if there is any similar requirement in other countries as well. So we have created a questionnaire, which we would be infinitely grateful if you could fill out. It's really a quick questionnaire, maximum 5 or 6 questions, and the result of that will be a great help for us to discover new potentials in other countries. So please find our questionnaire in the chat, and if you have 1 or 2 minutes, fill it out, and thank you in advance for doing so. Fourth topic is that, again, we will participate at Directions EMEA 2012, not 2022. We will travel to Hamburg next week. If you happen to travel there or be there too, then it will be nice to see you in person. We are looking forward for personal connections at Directions this year. We will also have a Servotion webinar, not webinar, but it will be a live session on Wednesday in the afternoon hours. So look for our presentation and come stop by our booth for a quick handshake. Fifth topic is the roadmap. I can't emphasize this enough. We are listening to you, your partners. If you have any ideas how we could make our products better, you can submit your ideas at our roadmap. All our roadmaps for all our products are available at partner.multisoft.hu. You can find the respective applications there, and you can submit your ideas, and even you can vote for others' ideas, and we will consider the most voted ideas as a potential new function in the new releases of MobileNAV and of course of our other products as well. So keep that in mind, that the roadmap exists. It's also a good overview of the latest release, what has it included, and the upcoming releases features will be presented there as well. And the sixth and last but not least important topic is the resources. Basically, this is a new initiative of ours. we have quite a lot experienced resources in Dynamics, NAV, Navision, Business Central, call it as you like it. And we would like to help our partners with spare resources or like a backup resource. So if you have a project, if the deadline is close, if you don't have the necessary resources, we would like to be there for you to help you out. I believe this can be a mutually beneficial cooperation. Yeah, so if you see any potential working together with us, if you need any consultant or developer resources with 10, 15, or even 20 plus years of experience, please contact us. You can come to me or to my colleagues, and we will try to find the best way to cooperate. We are open to do a proof of concept, but yeah, we should definitely discuss the details in a separate team session. Okay, so before I hand over the microphone to Tibor, just one last thing. So if you have any questions, we will do a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. Please type in your question into the chat. We will publish these, and if we can, we will address these during the session, but latest at the end of the session, we will definitely cover these. So yeah, if you have any questions, type it in the chat and we will discuss this. And so with that, I believe, Tibor, the virtual microphone is yours.
Okay, thank you, Bertrand. So before we jump into the 9.0 release and its latest and greatest features, I would like to just really give you a quick recap on the 8.0 release, which was last November or December, so sometime similar time last year. Last year we have started a work, which is a quite huge work, which is about the UI redesign of MobileNAV. And we have decided to separate that huge amount of work into separate phases. On the beginning, we did not know how many phases that will be, but now it seems that we have managed it in two parts. The first part last year was about redesigning the lists. I will also discuss this topic a little bit more detail because I think this is quite important. The other features in 8.0 what we had is the full screen lists. So from 8.0 you can put the list into a full screen mode. This is useful on a tablet environment or on a normal laptop. When you want to present the list of items with pictures, then you can use this full screen list. We also introduced calendar integrations where you can put certain items from BC or NAV records into your local calendar, and MobileNAV will make sure that these two things are synchronized. We have enhanced the RFID reading capability, which has been introduced in 7.0 release, in 8.0 we have introduced failed state and failed reasons in the RFID reading area. The next point was the login configuration QR code. So from 8.0 release, you maybe not know this cool feature, but you can share your login configuration with another employee. Or you can also generate this QR code from the add-on code, and then you can easily send that to your colleagues. They can just simply scan the QR code, and it will insert the login details into the MobileNAV login screen, so that they don't need to type it in letter or character by character. We have also introduced in 8.0 the quantity field minimum maximum possibility. which is not just static but also dynamic, meaning that you can say that, for example, the quantity maximum depends on from another field, like the quantity outstanding can be the maximum of the quantity to handle. This is important and useful in the warehouse area, but you can use this feature across your custom configuration as well. We have also changed how we poll and search in the online version. So we have introduced the case insensitive search in the online mode. In offline mode, the case it was already case insensitive, and previously it was depending on the SQL database setting whether the search was case sensitive or not. But from 8.0, you don't need to care about the database setting anymore. MobileNAV will search a case insensitive by default. We have also introduced the capability of enforcing a major config change on the client application. So we have introduced actions on the MobileNAV add-on, which you can run for a certain user or to all users in your or MobileNAV users in the system. And after pressing this button, all the MobileNAV clients will basically drop their offline cache, and they will download the configuration and all the offline data from scratch. This is a safety feature, so to say. So if there is a caching problem or any other kind of situation where it would be necessary to somehow do a remote reset on the device, then this can be a good option for the administrators. And the task license server was about support purposes. You may know that the MobileNAV devices should report their license and check their license with our license server, and sometimes the external access to the license server is disabled. So I've decided we have decided to develop a function, and with that you can check what is the current status, whether the device can access the license server or not, and you can also see the error message there. So that was 8.0, and let's see what we have done in 9.0. As I promised, we have continued the UI redesign. So we have developed the second part of this huge amount of work. I will discuss this more detail in a couple of seconds. Then we have made it possible to group the fields on the card. So you can basically, similar to Business Central, you can create a group of fields. You can close and open those groups. And if you have many fields on a certain card for any reason, then you can make groupings, and the user will be able to handle the card more easily because of the groups. We have also introduced additional code fields, which will allow you to configure additional code fields, not just the primary one. I will give you examples in a little bit more detail. Auto refresh on, quick Boolean edit, which allows you to directly edit the Boolean on the card, so you don't need to open up the editor window if you don't want to. Small improvement, but we can also show the client application version in the device management. So as an administrator, you can see whether all of your users have already been upgraded his mobile devices to the proper version of MobileNAV. Log file size, I will come to that later on. Regular expression parse patterns, this is a quite interesting topic. I will give you a live demo there. And set field position and skip on close on record deletion, so I will cover this. So UI redesign, as in the first part of the UI redesign, if you remember, we have decided to split up the list rows into 6 cells, which consists of 3 lines, a top, a middle, and a bottom line, and each line had 2 columns, a left and the right. So this gave us 6 positions in a line, and each cell in a list item can be configured just like you have configured the first and second line format in the previous versions. On the right side, you can see a screenshot about the possible configuration. This is a warehouse put away line list, where you can see that basically that the different portions of the information is put into different places on the list item, so that you don't need to tell in the first or second line what the data is about. You can define it by the position basically, and not just the position, because as you can see, you can also play around with the font type, the font size and font color, and you can also control the bold or italic property of the font, what you are willing to use per cell. So basically, per cell you can define the font style. You can put this all together in a so-called page style, and the page style can be assigned to a certain MobileNAV page. And in the page style, you can also define the alternating row background color, the left and right column percentage, and whether do you want word wrapping in the line or not. So that was the list there, and of course that you can define as many page styles as you wish, and you can export and import only the skin, which means the colors, the page and font styles, the small, large icon, app icon, page icons. This is what we call now skin. And you can export a certain skin or import a certain skin, because we are willing to provide you multiple predefined skins, but you can also play around with these settings later on, and design your own skin which matches your customer the best. Yeah, and these are the backward compatibility things here. And let's see what we have done in the second part, which is the 9.0 release. Now we have continued to extend the page style, and now in the page style you can also configure what should be the caption, the value, and the group header font style. So these font style will belong to the card layout of the page itself. So if that page is a listed card or an offline or a card page type, then the caption, value, and group header font style will be taken from its assigned page style. We have also revised and also extended the colors. Originally we had something like 6 colors in the system which you could change, and now we have checked all the different colors in MobileNAV, which we use either hard-coded or not yet hard-coded, but not the best way. So we have basically split up our colors into multiple different colors, and we have also tried to give them a name which better matches what they will do. You will see that on the next slide in more detail. And we have also decided to allow you to define the padding and separators in the system. And with these padding and separators, you can play around with the spacing in the MobileNAV application, because in the list, the card, and the home screen of MobileNAV, you can define the separator width. And by controlling the separator width, you can also say that the separator width should be 0. So you don't want to see, for example, separators at all, because you like that approach a bit better. You can also define the group separator width, because group separators is a new feature. You will see it later on. And you can also control the inner width, either inner padding of the different list cells or card cells or home screen items. And that gives less or more spacing inside a line in these places. So by playing with these things, you can either display more but a little bit more concentrated, or display less but more readable for your users. And these are the additional and revised colors set. So basically the 6 original color will be upgraded. So once you upgrade from 8.0 or previous version to 9.0, then those 6 color will be gone basically. and those colors will be upgraded to the new color which matches that best. You can see the list of colors here, so you can control the button or title, foreground and background. So this applies to the MobileNAV buttons and to the titles in MobileNAV. We have a highlight color, foreground and background. We have dialog border color, separator color, group separator color, window foreground background color, disabled button foreground background. These were not configurable until now, but we have, as I said, we have extended all the hard-coded color set, and now all of those hard-coded colors are also configurable, including the card disabled caption or the card mandatory caption or validated caption, which belongs to the staging, for example. And these are just a couple of screenshots about the UI redesign. So here you can see that the card element font can be defined on the page style, or you can see the list of MobileNAV colors with their default values, and the padding as a separator settings of the application. Okay, let's see the next topic, which is the group fields on cards. This is a new feature, as I promised. You can insert basically a group start and end basically in the field list of a certain page. These are basically virtual fields which don't need to be added from the page object, but this is something what you can add via a function. And those virtual group start and endings will basically group a certain number of fields, which can either be a normal field, which you can edit, or that can also be a couple of menu buttons or function buttons on the toolbar. The previously available grouping of the toolbar buttons is also upgraded into this grouping. So you will see it later on how MobileNAV upgrade has executed for those. And every group can be including the group header and the group ending, can be moved up and down. You can also move fields into a certain group or move out a certain field from the group. You can define, for example, promoted fields, not just one. You can also define multiple ones to be promoted on the group header, meaning that if the group is closed, then you will see those promoted field values on the group header. I will show this later on. And as I promised, the old menu button category is also upgraded into this grouping of fields. And this is just a screenshot about the configuration, but I will also show it quickly. And this is how it looks like in MobileNAV, but I will just quickly switch to my MobileNAV, and I will quickly also show you that live. So before that, let me refresh my Business Central. And let me navigate to sales order, because here I have already included some groupings. So I've decided to add. Let me make this a bit bigger. So as you can see, the sell to customer name, city, and address is basically put into a sell to group. And under that, the bill to name, city, and address is also put into a group. You can see that the field class is group start, group end for the special and virtual fields here. And there is a new checkbox on the field, which is called promoted on the group header, which is checked for the bill to name and the sell to customer name. So when I close the sell to group, then the sell to customer name will be visible on the group itself. And let's see how, and yeah, one more thing. On the sales order, you can see that the previously grouped functions like the sender approval, cancel approval, etc., is also now put into a group start and group finish, including the posting thing. So from now on, you need to group either menu functions or fields this way. Both should be done on the same way. Okay, and let's see how it looks like in MobileNAV. So I quickly open up the sales orders. And as you can see, by default, the group is closed for the Canon Group PLC. And if I open up the group, then as you can see, the caption goes into the middle. And you can see that now the group separator is a bit thicker line here, indicating that these fields are belonging to this group. If I close this down, then as you can see, it almost looks like a normal field with a closed group. And as I promised, the promoted value of the sell to customer name will be visible on the group header directly. And yeah, of course, these group opened or closed state will be remembered. So if you close the card down and you have left the group open, then it will be open next time if you visit the same card again. And then the old grouping of the function buttons is still available. So that just simply works the same way, but you need to configure that the same way how you group the normal fields. That's about grouping. Okay. Additional code fields. There sometimes we had the problem of defining a lookup relation from MobileNAV configuration, and sometimes we get the request from partners that if they want to look up a certain value, it's not enough to transfer just the code value of that lookup, but we also need to transfer additional key fields of that record. Just one easy example, for example, the bin codes. So if you want to give a bin list lookup to the user, but you also use zones, then it would be very good if you select a certain bin code and the same bin code exists across multiple zones. Then while selecting a certain bin with a specified zone should also be fill out the zone code on the card where you use the lookup. So not only the bin code should be transferred back to the record, but the zone code as well. And that was not possible. But with this new feature, via extending the relation configuration with created page additional code fields, you can define simple field-to-field mappings, which will be used as additional code fields on the relation itself. Auto refresh on. This is also an improvement in the direction of low code or no code technologies. Previously, if you had an online logic after updating a record, a child record or parent record, or just pressing a function button, then you had to use the field control technique to refresh its parent or child if that function or that modification affected the parent or the children records. And yeah, this is a simple approach, and this happens quite many times in Business Central or NAV that for example, you do something in the child record, like the line record, and then the header is refreshed because there is a calculated field about the amount of the lines or something like that. In such a case, the refresh parent or refresh child is not needed from field control perspective, because now we have created checkboxes on the behavior fast tab on the page configuration, and you can simply check them. And then you can initiate an automatic refresh of the parent or the child on any kind of update. This includes insertion, deletion, update, or function execution. Quick Boolean edit. Yeah, this is just a small improvement. When you are trying to edit booleans, and I can also quickly show you that. then you might not want to go to the editor itself. So if I open up for example, the to-dos, then there is this all-day event, for example, which is a Boolean field. And in the previous version, the only option you had is that you can click on the field itself. It popped up an editor window where you can change the value of the Boolean itself. And now we have introduced a direct editing possibility directly on the card, so you don't need to open up the editor of this particular Boolean type. But this is just for Booleans. You may like it or not, that's up to you. Okay, client application version in the device management. That's also quite a good improvement, I believe, because if you have a bigger site with many MobileNAV customers, then it might be interesting to know what are the client application version across your company. So if there is a MobileNAV update, whether that important update is basically downloaded to each and every device on your system or not. Maybe certain errors are because of that device is not on the latest version of MobileNAV. So that's just a small improvement. If you go to device management, then you will see the last used client application version. Log file size. This is also support related feature. Previously, I mean, we already had this log level setting in the MobileNAV settings where you can control the logging detailness of MobileNAV. By default, the log level is information or info. And sometimes if you experience weird errors, sometimes we request a debug log from you or a debug level log from the client application. Then you need to go to the settings, change the log level to debug, and then you need to reproduce the problem and send the exported app data back. But the problem of the debug log was that it's so detailed that the 5 megabytes limit was just not enough to see enough backwards in time. So we have decided to increase this log level to 200 megabytes in case of debug log level. So that's the condition. If you change the log level to debug, then we will allow a bigger log files. So basically, that's for us to better give you support on certain problems. Regular expression parse patterns. You already know regular expression, I believe. If you are working with warehouse solutions, then I'm pretty sure that you are already using the regular expressions of MobileNAV. Regular expression allows you to basically configure regular expressions for processing the barcode itself into multiple pieces. And this was already a cool feature of MobileNAV, but sometimes it was still not enough because after splitting the value into multiple pieces, you still had to write code, because one example is a date. If you wanted to extract date information from the barcode, then it was not possible without writing a couple of lines of code on the page object. So basically the workaround was there is to introduce a global variable with the text, and there the regex could basically split the date part of the barcode, but from that digits you had to compose the date type as such. And now from 9.0 you have the possibility to define parse patterns, meaning that the already available features are still there. So you can define a regular expression. You can have multiple fields which you want to split the barcode to, but in a case of date time or decimal values, you can also define a parse pattern. in case of date and date time, in that pairs pattern, you can define how the date will look like in the barcode. So in this example, what you see on the screen, we are saying that the expiration date will be in year, month, and day format. So a 6-digit number, and from that 6-digit number, MobileNAV can compose a date type and write that information into the expiration date directly without writing a single line of code. The second example is the decimals. So if you are also having some quantity information, for example, in the barcode, and that quantity information is not an integer but decimal, so you need to use decimal places at certain points, then you can also specify this. In case of decimals, you can either specify the separator, the decimal separator character in the pairs pattern. So you can say that, okay, my decimal separator is dot or comma or whatsoever. Or you can also say that I'm having exactly 3 decimal places in the barcode. So if you see 6 digits in the barcode, then the first 3 digits will be the whole number, and the last 3 digits will be the decimal portion of the value. I will show you a quick demonstration of this one. Let me show you the configuration first. So I go to the pages and item tracking. So here on the item tracking line, on the lot number field, I have defined a regular expression, which basically splits up the GS1 128 barcode, which is basically a crossref number, which is 14 digits. After that, there is the lot number followed by a group separator. Then we will have a date which is a 6-digit number, and then we have the quantity information with again 6 digits. And in the configuration, I said that the second part, which is the lot number, should be extracted into the lot number. The third portion of the regular expression is the expiration date, but there I have defined a regular expression parse pattern, defining how the date should be parsed. And the fourth portion is the quantity base, where I have said that the 6-digit number should be taken, like the first 3 digit is the whole number part, and the last 3 digit is the decimal places part. So 3 in this case means that it should the 6-digit number should be divided by 1000 basically. Okay, so this is the configuration, and let's see how MobileNAV works. So let me go to the purchase orders. And as a preparation, I have created a purchase order line here where the quantity is 1000, and I have defined that that item is the Ethernet cable. So we are trying to, but this can be also a warehouse pick or warehouse receipt. You can imagine any kind of document here. And we already had this item tracking possibility where you can basically define the item tracking for this item. I will use my scanner connected to my notebook, and I've also prepared with some sample barcodes here. And these barcodes are GS1 128 barcodes, which will contain the cross-reference number of the Ethernet cable, the lot number of the Ethernet cable, the expiration date of the Ethernet cable, and the quantity of the Ethernet cable. It might not be a good example because Ethernet cable normally doesn't have an expiration date, but yeah, forgive me about the naming. And what you can do now is that with this configuration, you can create a new item tracking line, and you can simply read the barcode in. And as you can see, it filled out the lot number, the expiration date, which is 1st of December, and also filled out the quantity base. And all I need to do is that either automatically or you can also press simply the add button again to create one new line, and I scan again for the next line. scan again for the third line, and scan again for the last line. As you can see, with 4 barcode reading, I have filled out very quickly the item tracking with different lots. So you can see the different lots here. The expiration date might be the same, but believe me or not, but this came from the barcode itself. So if it would have different expiration dates, then you would see that there. And also the quantity is also different, and that also came from the barcode itself. And as a result, we have basically with 4 scans very quickly we have specified the 1000 Ethernet cable across 4 lot numbers and expiration dates. So I think this is a quite good enhancement over the regular expression. The regular expression is also very good, but now it's even better. And as a result, if I just close down the item tracking, and if I go back to Business Central, just to prove that it really did the trick. So I go to the purchase orders, I open this purchase order, and if I go down to the line and item tracking lines, then you can see that it filled out the lot number, quantity. The expiration date is not visible on my list at the moment, but believe me or not, it's also filled out. Okay. Oops, sorry. Yeah, and yeah, one thing is important. I forgot to mention that because of the pairs patterns, and since you can also use comma there, because for example in Hungary the decimal separator is usually a comma character, not a dot. Therefore, we have basically decided to change how you should separate the multiple regular expressions. In regular expressions features, you can use multiple regular expressions with a pipe format, and in the results, and you already could define multiple result positions. And in the previous versions, there the separator of these multiple results was the comma character, but now we have decided to upgrade the configuration and use pipe character instead of the comma character. When you will upgrade your configuration to 9.0 add-on, the add-on upgrade will do that automatically for you, so you don't need to do anything. You just need to remember that from now on, when you are having or using multiple regexes, then you need to divide the regular expression results and also the patterns with the pipe character, not the comma character. Okay, and the next feature, set field position. Yeah, sometimes this is a quite hard task to do for the configurators. If you add a couple of new fields that by default will be added to the end of the page or the card. And if you want to move that line by line, that's not really an easy task. And also, if you need to add like 10 fields, and those 10 fields will be put to the end of the card view, for example. If you need to move those 10 fields up to the beginning of the card because you want to see them there, it was not an easy thing to do. But now you will have a set field position feature in MobileNAV. You can simply select multiple fields in the configuration, in the field configuration window, and you have this move selection after function, which you can press. There you can select which position do you want to move those selected fields. You can also define whether it should be moved into the menu part or into a normal field part, and then you can move multiple fields at once, so you don't need to use the move up or move down, which only moves one line up or down and only for one field. And the last but not least, skip on close on record deletion. Sometimes we had the feedback that if you have a function button which, for example, posts the certain record, and therefore the underlying record will be deleted. But you also defined an on-close function for some reason, like for cleanup certain things or whatsoever. So the combination of a function button which deletes the underlying record plus the on-close function defined resulted in an error in MobileNAV, because MobileNAV was always executing the on-close function as well, even if you have even if the underlying record has been deleted because of the function button execution. Now this we have introduced the checkbox in the relation part, where you can say that the MobileNAV should skip the on-close function execution if the record is deleted. If you enable this and you delete the record in the posting routine, then basically this won't cause problems or errors in MobileNAV anymore. And we have reached the end of the presentation. I hope you like the presentation. Maybe one more thing which I would like to share with you is that we have already started to work on the next version of MobileNAV, and the biggest feature of the next release will be the OData support. You may already realize that Microsoft has put the SOAP web services into deprecated state, which means that sooner or later they will officially discontinue the SOAP interface of Business Central. In the current version, it is still supported, but it's in a deprecated phase. And Microsoft also did not specify until when they are planning to support this. So probably the SOAP web service interface will be there for a couple of years still, but we have started the implementation of OData interface in MobileNAV. So from the next release, which will be MobileNAV 10.0, OData will be supported, and from then on you can decide which interface you want to use, either SOAP or OData. So when Microsoft will decide that the SOAP is now totally disabled, then you can just simply continue to use the OData interface. So that work has been started already. We had our first initial design meetings because certain things need to be done differently with the OData, but we will again hardly working on a swift move or upgrade of the current configuration to OData. So we will come out with solutions how we can ease the SOAP to OData switch in your existing configuration if you want to do that earlier. So I'm looking to Berton. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, we got one. So let me just publish this one. It was related to the percolates, the child update. So the question was just wondering if the refresh card on the child update percolates up the tree. For example, if you are 3 levels down, we change to level 3. Tick-box on level 2 will update level 2. If you have tick at level 1, will it update this as well?
That's a good question. Please drop us an email, and I will check this with the developers. I don't know this by heart, but I think it is supported, yes. But of course, you need to tick this checkbox on the parent pages as well. So what you configure with this 3 checkbox is always just 1 level down or up. But if you also do that for the parent and so on, then probably it will also work there. But I will have this checked if you drop an email.
Yeah. So yeah, drop us an email and we will look into that one. Okay. Anyway, it was someone anonymous. So we maybe can trace back, but the best way would be if you could just drop an email to Tibor or to the contact at multisoft.hu. We also have a question from Tanvir. Hi Tibor, in previous versions we used to have set dialog and get dialog functions, but I can't find get dialog in the new version. How should messages or confirmations in the new versions?
It should work the same way, so it should be there. So if you think that they have disappeared, then again write to the support portal, because they should not. The displaying of dialog buttons works in the latest version as well. The only difference might be that in the extension word you don't need to use the old way of displaying messages, but you need to move to the new way of using the field control. These are the FC methods, like FC set dialog or FC get dialog, etc. So in the new extension word, when you are especially extending MobileNAV pages which already have field control on them, there you need to use the FC functions. But each and every already existing function has its version as FC function as well, so you can switch to that code as well.
Okay. So does it conclude your question, Tanvir? I hope so. If in any case, just drop an email to Tibor or to the support at mobilenav.com. There is also a question whether we are sharing the presentation. Of course. So what we will do, we will do a follow-up email, or potentially a newsletter to all of the participants, including all the updates that I have mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. And it will include the link for the full recording as well. If you have a question other than these, please feel free to reach out to us anytime. There will be, so if you step ahead in the presentation, so there is our email address. You can contact us here anytime. Okay, Amber, thanks for confirming. Okay, there is another question, which is, hello Tibor, in this version the errors are shown in a language other than English?
Yes. Or what do you mean? I don't really understand the question. In the previous versions, you can also have localized questions, but that depends on multiple things. Of course, the Business Central or the NAV should be translated to that language. You might also need to change, depending on the NAV or Business Central version you have, you might need to switch the services default language from English US to the desired language what you are willing to use. So there are many things which you need to do in order to achieve that. But if you drop us an email to the support portal, then we can easily answer and give you something like a not a step-by-step guide, but something like a checklist for you what you need to check in order to display localized messages or errors in MobileNAV as well. But it is possible, and it should be possible, yes. But it's not depending on this version. It was there.
Okay. Okay, I don't see any further questions, but if you happen to have some, then again, here's our email address, or you can visit our website. Maybe you find the answer there. Please feel free to contact us. And again, there was the questionnaire in the chat. If you are still here and if you have 2 minutes, please fill that out. It would be a great help for us. And yeah, let's meet in Hamburg if you are there. Otherwise, see you at our next webinar. Thank you for being here and have a nice rest of your day, guys.
Thank you. Bye.